Good afternoon, parents. Mrs. P here with another video on our mathematics that we've been doing in the 6th grade here at West Platte Elementary. As you are aware through the email and the newsletter I sent you, we have started our next unit on algebra, and we are doing chapter 7 right now, which talks about expressions and how we write those and turn them in from numerical expressions to algebraic expressions. And if you recall in my first video that I did the other day on expressions and exponents, that this is numerical. Anything that only has numbers in it, that's an expression. I'm now going to turn it into an algebraic expression simply by putting a letter, which the students know. Yes, that's the letter A. 26 letters in the alphabet, that's A. They know it's not going to be called a letter. It's going to be called a variable now. The variable is the letter in the expression that is unknown and that we need to solve. We're going to be moving on to that, but before we can do that, we must learn how to write algebraic expressions. We have to learn how to read algebraic expressions. And so that's what we've been working on today. So I'm going to give you a couple examples just to give you an insight into what the students have been doing. So what we worked on is an algebraic expression, but we're taking it from the words so that we can write it as a problem, or what we call a mathematical phrase, so that the students can solve it. So an example, one that we have done and that we worked on today was, there would be a statement that says the sum of x and 9. That is an algebraic expression, but written in word form. We have to make sure that your students can take that and write it into a mathematical phrase that if I need them to answer it, they can. So the most important thing I tell students when we're working on this stuff, and really probably most important thing in math, and I've said that since the beginning of the year, stop thinking math is just numbers. Math is also pictures and diagrams, and especially math is a language. You have to read it. So for us in algebra, we look for the keywords that tell us what to do to write this as a phrase that we can solve. The, in grammar, that's just an article starting a sentence with a, and, the. But this word right here tells the student something very important. This word right here says that when you get an answer, it's going to be called the sum. And if they know that term, they know the answer, known as a sum, means that I've had an addition problem. I've added something together to get a sum. Well, when we look at these words, they are telling us the sum of two objects, x and 9, will give us a sum. And that now is an algebraic expression that if I gave them the value for x, they could solve. Or if I wrote it and I gave them the sum, they could solve the x for me. This is algebraic expressions, and this is in the written form. Now we're also going to work on them taking these and putting them back into words. And that's something, honestly, they have worked on. Probably, I don't want to say from K, but maybe around K, first, second grade, a teacher spoke to them in words, and then they had to write out the problem, but only numerically. They only used the numbers. Now we're going to add the variables in there and call them algebraic expressions. Since I'm telling you the key thing here is the word use, I want to remind you, I gave students a flyer at the beginning of the year. They have a copy of this. I'm actually going to give them another one tomorrow that they're going to apply, which means just add in, to their mathematical book. It talks to them about word use in mathematics. What does more than mean? What does the quotient mean? If they know terminology in words, they will not have a single problem taking this statement and turning it into an algebraic expression. They also won't have a problem if I tell them, and here's one we did today, 2 times 6 plus 7. They won't have a problem telling me that that means the product. Here's something and here's something that surrounds that multiplication sign. So what am I going to get out here? I'm going to get a product. So if they want to write this in words, they're going to let me know that this means the product of 2 and the sum of 6 and 7, because 6 plus 7 in parentheses means a sum. All they need to do is really focus on these lovely things and what they mean, and we've worked on it and we'll continue to work on it all year. What are our mathematical terms? What is the terminology that helps me solve math? And this is what we worked on today, and we'll continue to increase it, extend it as we make our way through this week and next week. But that's just a little insight into what we did. I thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll be back tomorrow with more information. Have a lovely evening.